Fred VanVleet is one of the least talked about leaders of a team in the NBA. He is not a flashy player by most standards. He is not the prototypical all-star point guard with flashy numbers, with 22, 23 plus points per game. He is not doing anything outrageous on a night-to-night basis that gets him in the highlight reel, but he definitely puts in the work on a night-to-night basis to make himself extremely valuable to the Toronto Raptors and make himself worthy of an all-star conversation this season. Fred VanVleet this year is shooting a career high 44.2% from the field, a near career high 39.1% from deep on 8 attempts, an extremely good efficiency for the difficulty of shots he takes, averaging over 6 assists, 5 rebounds, being a very good rebounder this year, taking up a bit of that rebounding role of Kyle Lowry while being an extremely good playmaker. Even though his assist numbers are down, he has been a much better playmaker this year, and his scoring is at nearly 20 points per game. But the stat line does not show the impact of Fred VanVleet. The first place you just look from an actual statistical standpoint is the minutes, but then we're going to get into all of the non-statistical things that just show how good Fred VanVleet is. Fred VanVleet is playing 38.1 minutes per game this season. That is number 1 in the league. The Raptors are very dependent on Fred VanVleet being on the court and being productive to run their offense, to create, to play make, especially now with OG Anunoby out, to be successful. He has improved his efficiency while taking on a bigger role, more playmaking, and a more difficult offensive lead, and in turn more difficult shots this season. He has not shot above 42.6% on his career. That was in his second year in the league. He is now at 44.2%. Absolutely absurd. But the biggest things for Fred VanVleet don't show up in that statistical category. The effort, the leadership that has been taken up by Fred VanVleet now that Kyle Lowry is gone has been brilliant. He's been a great leader. It's been mentioned by several players on the team. The likes of Utah has mentioned it several times. The likes of Delano Banton. The leadership he brings, the mentorship he brings is massive, is crucial, and is very impactful to this group. His effort defensively is infectious. It helps this team to show that at that point of the attack, that lead guard spot, your leader on the team, your best player, arguably, is such a hard-working defensive player while having to carry the load on offense. He is still competing on defense. He's a great perimeter defender, very physical, very good lateral quicks. He's extremely, extremely good for a guard at his size for defending in the post, similar to Lowry was. Not as good as Lowry was, but he has that strength to hold guys off. He has extremely good and quick hands to be able to poke balls loose down in the post, force some turnovers, force some deflections. He is always one of the league leaders in deflections. Gary Trent up there as well this year, but Freddie is up there doing his thing always. He just always competes so much on the defensive end, and for someone who's like barely 6 feet, I know he's listed at 6'1". I don't think he is. I think he's barely 6 feet, if that. But he is just a workhorse on the defensive end, and you know that you are going to get a good performance from him night in, night out on the defensive end. The playmaking from him this year has just been absolutely absurd. The numbers in terms of assists don't show it, but the amount of playmaking improvement and work I have seen from him has been brilliant. Prior to this season, I thought of Fred VanVleet more as a shooting guard long term. He seemed like much more of a scorer than a true playmaker. He was a very good playmaker for the 2, but maybe not quite a good enough playmaker for the 1. I've completely changed my thought about that this year. He's a very good playmaker, an underrated playmaker in my opinion. Gets guys open, good combination with bigs, can get guys open on the perimeter, can penetrate well, get some open shots, you name it. Fred VanVleet playmakes so much and creates so much offense for this Toronto Raptors team. And the biggest thing for Fred VanVleet is that he has allowed a fairly seamless transition for the Raptors at the point guard spot while losing Kyle Lowry. Sure, the impact of Kyle Lowry would be nice to have, and he has missed. But certainly, Fred VanVleet has filled that level of production from playmaking, from rebounding, from defense, from leadership, and from scoring. Maybe not to the level of Kyle Lowry, but to a level that is definitely worthy of him being the leader of the Toronto Raptors, leading them to a potential playoff spot this year, and leading him to a potential all-star spot this season. That being said, that is my thoughts on Fred VanVleet so far this season and why he deserves to be in the all-star conversation. Let me know your thoughts down below on Fred VanVleet so far this season. Hope Hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.